There's a tree in the Amazon that knows your name. Not yet, but it will. Today you'll stand before it, and if you are attentive enough, something inside you will remember what civilization taught you to forget. We shall now journey not as tourists, but as those who seek knowledge. Knowledge older than books. Let's depart to the tales of Amazonia. Chapter 1. The River That Remembers. When you sail along the Amazon River, you feel that time moves differently here. It doesn't hurry, it just flows alongside you, like water. The locals say that the river has memory. It remembers footsteps, voices, even the breathing of those who lived on its shores. That's why no one shouts here. Everyone speaks quietly, so as not to interrupt it. I'm sailing in a small boat with a guide. His name is Naru. He's from the Tikuna tribe. He has calm eyes and a quiet voice. He tells me that every tree in the forest has a spirit, and the oldest tree holds within it the souls of those who have passed. Today we are searching for that very tree. You know, in the Amazon, trees are connected underground by roots and fungi. Scientists call this mycorrhizal. Through it, trees transmit nutrition, signals, even warnings to each other. If one tree suffers, others feel it and share their strength with it, as if the forest has its own nervous system. Naru listens and nods. We've always known this, we just didn't call it scientific. He says that the forest doesn't need words to understand that someone nearby is sick or sad. We sail further. The water here is black, transparent and dark, like strong tea. This is called Rios Negros, black rivers. The color comes from tannins, substances released by rotting leaves and bark. In such water, there are almost no mosquitoes. The acidity is too high for their larvae. Naru rows slowly, confidently. Sometimes he points with an oar to the shore, to roots growing straight out of the water. This is Monguba, he says, the tree that feeds. I've heard of Monguba. The locals gather its fruits. Inside is white pulp, like cotton with a sweetish taste. Our ethnographers wrote that the Tikuna tribes consider Monguba sacred. When a child is born, the elder plants a tree and names it after the newborn. As the tree grows, the person grows. I touch the side of the boat. The wood is warm from the sun. Naru is silent, rowing steadily. Around us are jungles, dense, green. Lianas hang down like ropes. Somewhere a howler monkey cries. There are splashes of water. Naru points to dolphins, pink river dolphins. They jump out, playing in the waves. Biologists have found that these dolphins are almost blind. They navigate by echolocation, live in pods, hunt fish. In Tikuna legends, they are transformed warriors, guarding the waters from strangers. In general, there are more than 3,000 species of fish in the Amazon. Some of them are like science fiction. There's an electric eel that generates a discharge of 600 volts, and a small, transparent fish, candiru. Scary stories circulate about it, and Naru says, with a smile, better not to run into it. Everything is so simple with him. By evening, the air becomes dense, humid, as if you could scoop it up with your palm. I ask Naru, "Are you afraid of the river?" He shakes his head. The river is Yevee, the mother serpent. She created this world from her body. If you respect her, she shows the way. If not, she takes it back. I'd heard this legend before, the great anaconda, progenitor of all waters. The Amazon is the most full-flowing river in the world. It carries 1/5 of the planet's fresh water into the ocean. I look at the water that has become brown, thick with silt, carrying branches, leaves, sometimes fish, piraruchu 2 meters long. The boat enters a narrow channel. Branches close overhead. The light becomes greenish, thick. The air smells of dampness, rotting leaves, and something sweet, maybe a blooming orchid. Naru stops rowing. The boat moves by itself, carried by a weak current. He looks ahead, squinting. Do you see the big tree with roots like legs? I see a huge trunk, about 3 meters thick. Massive buttress roots extend from it. They go into the water, holding the tree like a giant on stilts. This is Ceiba, says Naru, mother of the forest. I know this tree from descriptions, Ceiba pentandra. Our botanists have found specimens up to 70 meters high. The tree can live 500 years. Its fibers were used for stuffing life jackets. They don't sink. But for the Tikuna, Ceiba is not just a plant. Naru approaches closer. On the bark are deep scratches, burned signs, strange patterns. Spirits live here, he says. Spirits of those who have departed. They descend the trunk at night. When a person dies, we carve his name on the bark. That's how the tree remembers him. I'm silent, looking at the marks, tens, maybe hundreds. Some are old, almost overgrown, others fresh. Naru nods to me. I can approach. I carefully touch the bark. It's warm, damp, rough. Under my palm, I feel irregularities, traces of other people's fingers, other people's names. I think about how many people stood here before me, how many said goodbye, how many asked for something. Naru looks at me attentively. Do you feel it? I don't know what to answer, but I really do feel something. It's hard to describe. But at this moment, everything becomes very simple. The forest, the river, breathing, a voice nearby. For some reason, I think about wisdom, human wisdom, nature's wisdom. Right now, it seems to me that true wisdom lies not in the knowledge, but beyond it. It's difficult to put it into words. I can only feel it in my hands, touching the tree. Chapter 2. Conversation at the heart of the forest. We sit by the Ceiba, as by the wall of an old temple. Naru lays out a snack right on the tree root. I take a flatbread, thin, fragile, like a dried leaf. What's it made of? We take manioc root, grated and dried. In it is the strength of the earth. No tribe lives without it. He smiles. They say the spirit of manioc loves when food is shared, not hidden. Manioc is a bush with large green leaves and large starchy roots, resembling elongated potatoes. These roots are grated, squeezed, dried, and fried. The result is flour or dough from which thin flatbreads are made. It's the staple food in many regions of the Amazon. And this? I point to slices of yellow fruit baked in leaves. Plantain, a banana that's not sweet, but gives strength. It's eaten when the journey is long. I try it. The taste is soft, slightly smoky, like roasted pumpkin. Filling, I say, and doesn't spoil, Naru replies. He takes out a flask and pours an infusion into a wooden cup. And this is not food, he says. This is medicine. Una de gato, cat's claw, Yes, a vine that clings to trees like a cat to bark. Its bark is brewed when the body needs to remember balance. He takes a sip, grimaces, bitter, he warns. But if you want to hear the body and the forest, try it. I drink. The bitterness is strong, like rust and bark, then warmth in my chest, as if the forest really entered inside. Strong stuff. I wince. Naru laughs and points to the flatbread. Eat. You can't go hungry. Hunger only hears itself. What do you mean? Naru crumbles the rest of his flatbread and throws it into the water. A fish flashes silver in the water and instantly disappears. When a person is hungry, he thinks only about satisfying hunger. He has no room left inside for anything else. He cannot let life into himself. He raises his gaze to the Ceiba. To truly hear the world, you need to free up space inside. Then even silence will speak. I recall our cities. There, people are always hungry, not from lack of food, but from lack of something else. Hunger for achievements, for recognition, for new things that promise happiness, for the feeling that you are good enough. And when a person gets what they want, after just a few weeks, they feel the same as before, so they need more, even more. But satiation doesn't come. I think about this here, in the forest, about how we've learned to want what we don't need, how advertising, society, other people's lives create an appetite for what we don't have. And the more we get, the bigger the hole inside becomes. Naru sits and is silent. I don't even know if he's thinking about something or just listening to the sounds around. In the city, there's never enough time, not enough silence, not enough just sitting and doing nothing. Because if you stop, you'll feel that hunger again, and that's scary. I look around and sigh. The air smells of bark and wet clay. Insects click evenly, and the sound is like a metronome. Here no one is in a hurry. A tree grows for 100 years. A river flows for 1,000. Everything happens in its own rhythm. I ask Naru, how do you understand time? Naru looks at the river, then at the bark under his palm. We don't say that time goes. It doesn't run forward like with you. It moves in a circle. It returns. He draws a circle on the bark. Here are our ancestors. Upstream, they started the journey. He makes a mark in the middle. Here are we. He draws lower, and here are the children, those who will come. All of this is the same water. The river knows no beginning or end. When the song of insects changes, we feel the time of rain has come. When the smell of earth becomes sweet, fruits will soon appear. We don't count days, he says. We listen. Time lives in sounds, smells, flow. It's always here, just in different places of the circle. I remember how scientists actually recorded changes in sound in the jungle to identify the connection between sounds and seasons. Here, this knowledge has lived for many hundreds of years. And the past? I ask. Naru smiles. The past is not behind. It's upstream, but the water from there has already reached here. We drink it every day. And the future? It's downstream. We don't see it yet, but we already influence it. When you throw a fruit into the river, it floats there. And maybe someday it will become food for our grandchildren. So everything happens at once, I clarify. Yes, everything happens in one movement. The past, the future, and the present. It begins and ends within itself. Naru draws his finger along the circle carved in the bark. People think that time goes away, he says, but time cannot go away. It's always here. He looks at the river. Each drop floats forward, but the water remains the same. So do we. Everything that was, everything that will be, is already in this flow. He stands up. It's time to go. We collect the leaves we ate on. Naru always leaves a place cleaner than he found it. He ties up the flask with the infusion. I look back at the bark. Names, notches, burned spirals. A dry fruit falls to the ground. A dull and even thud, like a period. Naru touches the tree bark with his palm, as if saying goodbye. The circle is complete, he says. Now, a new one. We descend from the roots and walk along the damp path. The soil springs under our feet, soft as if breathing. The Ceiba remains behind, huge, motionless, but I still feel it somewhere behind me. Around it becomes darker. The air is thicker, with new and unfamiliar smells, sounds, rustling. Nairo walks ahead. He steps silently. Ceiba is watching, he says, without turning around. It remembered us. I look back, and indeed, through the branches I can see a whitish spot of the trunk, lit by the sun. Then the shadow closes, and the tree disappears. But I still feel Ceiba for a long time. Its trunk remained there, but the roots, perhaps, go underground, beneath us, connecting this path with the place where we sat. Maybe that's how the whole forest is arranged. One tree ends, another begins, and while we walk, Ceiba walks with us, just in a different form. We walk in the present, but step on the past. Its roots are beneath us, its traces in the earth and in the names on the bark. Thus begins our path to the traces of those who were here before us. Chapter 3. Traces of the Vanished. We walk along a path that barely exists. Naru is ahead. He parts branches, steps precisely, as if he knows every route. I follow. My feet slip on wet leaves. The forest here is different, denser, darker. Trees stand close to each other, trunks covered with moss. Lianas hang down like ropes. Naru suddenly stops. He raises his hand, a sign, quiet. I freeze. What? I ask in a whisper. He doesn't answer immediately. He looks ahead, squinting, then slowly lowers his hand. Nothing. Just, here, you need to be attentive. Sometimes something hard crunches underfoot. I stop, rake away the foliage. Beneath it is a stone. Not a natural boulder. Processed, smooth, covered with green moss. Naru turns around. He looks at the stone for a long time. See, he says. People lived here. I look around, but I don't see anything special. Only trees, bushes, earth. Then I begin to notice. The hill on the right is too even for a natural one. The hollow on the left, like the trace of a foundation. And these stones, there are many of them, hidden under roots and foliage. I take a few steps, underfoot, again a stone, another one. They are laid out in a line. This is order. Someone laid them, on purpose. Naru squats down, runs his hand over the ground. My grandfather said there was a village here. A big one. People built houses from wood and clay. They grew manioc, corn, tobacco. Then they left. Where to? I ask. He's silent. He looks at the ground. Maybe down the river. Maybe they died from disease. Or maybe the forest took them back. I feel my skin grow cold, but not from fear, from something else, as if someone really is here, not now, but those who were, as if they remained. I'd heard about this. Our archaeologists found traces of large settlements in the Amazon. Some are more than 1,000 years old. For a long time, it was believed that the jungle was too hostile for civilizations, that only small nomadic tribes could live here. But then they found geoglyphs. Geoglyphs are huge earthen patterns, circles, squares, spirals, dug into the earth. They only began to be found when forest was cleared from the air, from satellites. There are thousands of them throughout the Amazon. Some geoglyphs are built so precisely that lines are perfectly parallel at a distance of 1 kilometer, without a compass, without GPS. Naru listens, nods. We know these places, but we don't see them from above, like you. For us, they are just traces of ancestors, and we don't go there without reason. Why? I ask tensely. Naru looks me in the eyes. Because the dead also have their place, and it's better not to disturb them without respect. He stands up. Today, I brought you here, not just like that. I want to show you something. We continue. The path becomes almost invisible. Naru stops at a small hill, starts to clear the earth with his hands. I help. Under a layer of leaves and roots, something hard. We pull out a fragment. Clay, reddish, terracotta. This is part of something larger, maybe a vessel, maybe a figurine. On the surface, a pattern, waves, dots, spirals, similar to the geoglyphs seen from the air. I examine the pattern more closely. Small pieces are pressed into the clay. Looks like shells, or maybe bones. Archaeologists call this temper. Ancient craftsmen added it so the clay wouldn't crack when fired. Each tribe used its own recipe. You can determine who made it by the temper, like handwriting. Naru examines the fragment. They made this to store food or water, or to remember those who left. The fragment is heavy, rough, warm from the earth. I think how much time has passed. Maybe 100 years, maybe 500. Someone molded this from clay. Someone held it every day. Maybe a woman, maybe a child. Poured water, prepared food, lived, and then everything disappeared. Trees grew. Earth covered it. Names were forgotten. The forest reclaimed this place as if people had never been here, but they were. I hold the proof in my hands. Archaeologists call these ghost cities. The Amazon was densely populated. By estimates, before the arrival of Europeans, millions of people lived here. They didn't build from stone like the Egyptians or Maya. They built from wood, clay, leaves. That's why the cities didn't survive. Rain washed them away. Termites ate them. When the Europeans came, they brought diseases. Smallpox, measles, flu. For the locals, this was fatal. Entire villages died out in weeks. Some scientists say 9 out of 10 died. 9 out of 10. I imagine this place full of life. Children's voices, fires, laughter, and then silence. Only wind and birds. Naru digs deeper into the earth, pulls out a handful. The earth here is black, oily, completely unlike the reddish clay around. Terra preta, I say. Naru smiles weakly. You know this word. Our scientists studied it, black earth. It's not natural. People created it. This is a mixture of ash, bones, coal, ceramics, organics. The ancient inhabitants of the Amazon deliberately made such soil. It's fertile to this day, after hundreds of years. Ordinary Amazonian soil is poor, acidic. But on Terra preta, you can grow anything. Scientists have tried to recreate it, but the exact recipe has still not been solved. Naru squeezes the earth in his fist. They fed the earth so the earth would feed them. And even when they left, the earth remained, living, generous. This is their gift to us. I look at this hill, at the clay fragments, at the black earth in Naru's hands. There was life here. Huge, complex, rich. People built houses, raised children, laughed, argued, loved. They created art. They passed on knowledge. Now there are no books, no records, no names left. Only earth, fragments, and stories that are passed on orally, as long as there is someone who remembers. You know, this scares me. Not death, but how easily you can disappear. How an entire civilization can dissolve in 100 years, as if it never existed. Naru places the fragment back on the earth. When I was little, my grandfather brought me here. He said, "Our ancestors sleep here. Don't disturb them, but don't forget either." He stands up, dusts off his hands. The forest remembers better than people. It stores everything: bones, clay, ash, names. Even when we leave, we remain in the forest, and maybe someday someone will find our traces and remember that we were here. I reflect on how we build: concrete, steel, glass. We want our buildings to stand forever. We're afraid of being forgotten. And here, they built from what can return to the earth. The circle must close. Maybe disappearing is not the end yet. Maybe it's just part of the journey. Everything comes, everything goes, but the trace remains in the earth, in the water, in the memory of those who will come after. We move away from the hill. Naru walks ahead. I look back one last time. The earth is already almost invisible under the foliage. In an hour, the forest will cover it again. In a month, it will be as if no one touched it. Ahead, the path turns. Naru slows down. Soon there will be a village, he says. They're waiting there. There, I'll show you how we remember those who left. And much more. I follow. I feel the black earth beneath my feet. Earth that someone made hundreds of years ago, so it would feed, so it would remember, so life would continue. Chapter 4. Night of the Shamans. By evening, we reach the village. The path leads us to a clearing, and I stop to catch my breath and look around. There are about 10 houses, maybe 12, all on stilts, about 1.5 meters above the ground. Roofs of palm leaves tied with vines, walls of thin trunks with gaps visible between them. Under one house, fish is drying on ropes. Under another stand clay jugs. Smoke rises from several fires. It smells good of fish, wood, and something sweet. Women sit by the fire, cleaning something. Roots, it seems. Men are mending nets. And everywhere, children. They are the first to notice us. They drop sticks, stones, everything they were playing with, and run toward us. They surround us, laugh, point fingers at me. One boy, about 6 years old, tugs at my sleeve and says something quickly in his language. Naru laughs. He's asking why you're so pale. He thinks you're sick. I squat down to be at the boy's level. Tell him, I just live where there's little sun. Naru translates. The boy frowns, as if this sounds very strange. Then he smiles and holds out something to me, a smooth pebble, shiny, with veins. For me, the boy nods. The other children laugh, push him. Beautiful. Thank you. Naru says something to the children. They nod and run away, but continue to look back and wave at me. They rarely see strangers, he explains. But you came with me, so you're not a stranger, and you accepted the gift. That's important. Now, you're a bit one of us. We're met by the elder. His name is Akiru, an old man with a wrinkled face, as if all the winds and all the rains of the Amazon were carved into it. Around his neck is a necklace of seeds and claws. His hands are dry, sinewy. His eyes are sharp, attentive. They look not at you, but as if through you. He looks at me for a long time, then nods. Welcome, he says in Portuguese with a strong accent. We sit by the fire. Others gather around. Men, older women. Women bring food on wide leaves, the same manioc flatbreads and plantain. Naru looks, smiles, and addresses the women in his language. They exchange glances, laugh, and carry the food back. In a minute, they return with something different. This time, boiled turtle eggs, large, with soft shells, fried larvae, thick, white, with a crispy crust, and fruits, something like small plums, dark purple, with a sour, sweet taste. This is cupuaçu, Naru explains, a relative of cocoa. Very good after a long journey. I try everything. The larvae taste like nuts with butter, the eggs tender, salty, and again the una de gato infusion, cat's claw. This time I drink without wincing. During dinner, Akiru asks, "Do you sleep well?" A strange question. I nod. Usually yes, he shakes his head. Sleep is not rest. Sleep is a door. If you don't know how to open it, you just lie in darkness. Naru translates further. He says that dreams are not illusions. They are nature's way of talking to a person. When the body sleeps, the spirit goes walking. It meets other spirits of ancestors, animals, trees. I remember that I read about this. Modern neurophysiology has been studying dreams for more than half a century. We know that during the rapid eye movement phase, the brain is as active as when awake. But what does it do at this moment? Some studies show the brain processes the day's experience. The hippocampus, the structure responsible for memory, replays events again. It sorts. It decides what's important to remember and what to forget. But not just mechanically. It connects the new with the old. It finds patterns. It creates associations. Sometimes, it solves problems that seemed unsolvable during the day. Mendeleev saw the periodic table in a dream, Kekule, the structure of the benzene ring. McCartney composed the melody of Yesterday after a dream, but scientists still don't understand why the brain clothes this work in images, stories, experiences. Why doesn't it just process information, but shows it like a movie? Maybe images are the brain's language? In this case, Akiru is right. Maybe it really is a dialogue, not with spirits in the literal sense, but with that part of yourself that sees more than our daytime mind, with that part that connects the past, present, and what hasn't happened yet. Dinner ends. Darkness thickens. Akiru stands up and gestures for us to follow him. We walk to the edge of the village, where a separate hut stands, larger than the others, with carved pillars at the entrance. The pillars are covered with patterns, spirals, waves, faces with closed eyes. Maloka, says Naru, house of spirits. Inside it smells of smoke and herbs. In the center, a fireplace. Around it sit several men and women. Everyone is silent, faces motionless, as if carved from wood. Akiru sits by the fire. He takes out a bundle of dry leaves, begins to crumble them. This is tobacco, Naru whispers. Sacred. It's smoked to cleanse the space. Akiru rolls the leaves into a thick tube, lights it from the coals. Smoke rises thick, acrid, white in the light of the fire. He inhales deeply, holds his breath, then exhales in 4 directions: north, south, east, west. Then he begins to sing, not loudly, monotonously. The voice is old but strong. It comes not from the throat, but from the chest, from the belly. The words are incomprehensible, but the rhythm enters the body, slow, deep, like the pulsation of something huge, even infinite. The others pick it up. Someone shakes a rattle made of seeds, a dry, rustling sound. Someone beats a stick against a hollow log, a low, booming thud. Naru leans toward me and whispers. He's singing about the river, about the one that flows under the earth and above the earth, about the one that connects all the living and the dead. Naru speaks even more quietly. Now he's calling the ancestors, asking them to come. He says, "We remember you. We carry your names." The melody of the song changes. He's thanking the forest for food, for water, for air, for the fact that we're alive for another day. I sit and listen. The smoke stings my eyes. The fire dances. Shadows on the walls move, stretch, compress. The rhythm becomes hypnotic. At first I hear each sound separately. Akiru's voice, the rattle, the drum, the crackle of fire. Then they merge into one stream, and suddenly, everything around becomes voluminous. I see cracks on the hut walls, every line, every shadow in them. I see how the air trembles above the fire, in waves, layers, like water. I hear how people around breathe, every inhale, every exhale, like a separate instrument in an orchestra. The smell of smoke breaks down into shades: bitter bark, sweet resin, acrid tobacco. My skin feels the movement of air, a warm stream from the fire, a cool draft from gaps in the walls. I feel my heart beating. Not just know, feel. Each beat, like a wave spreading through the body. My hands grow heavy. Breathing slows. Time ceases to be linear. Seconds stretch, or on the contrary, compress. I don't know. I lose the sense of how much time has passed. A minute, an hour. It's as if it becomes unimportant. Boundaries blur. Where does my body end and air begin? Where does sound end and silence begin? And then it's as if I'm doused with cold water. I see so clearly that I've always perceived the world through a filter, through thoughts, words, explanations. I thought about what I see, hear, feel, thought. And now I simply perceive, directly, without translation, as if the wall between the world and me was removed. You could say it's mysticism, but it's just a different mode, and so calm and clear inside. The singing becomes louder. I listen to Akiru's voice until it falls silent. Silence comes abruptly, almost physically. Akiru looks into the fire for a long time. Everyone is silent. No one moves. He's listening. Naru whispers. The ancestors are speaking to him. I look at Akiru, at his face lit from below by the red light of coals. Wrinkles deep as cracks in bark, eyes half closed. He nods, once, slowly, as if he agreed with something. I recall the names on the Ceiba bark, the clay shards in the ghost city. Then I think about my relatives who are no longer with us. Maybe they too are sitting here, in the circle with us. Akiru raises his gaze and looks me in the eyes. Are you afraid to die? He asks. I'm not surprised by this question. Of course I'm afraid. Who isn't afraid? But aloud I say, probably. Akiru nods. Good. Fear is a sign that you understand. Life is not infinite. But if you're too afraid, you don't live, you hide. Death. He searches for words. Death is not the end. It's a return. The river flows into the ocean. The ocean becomes rain. Rain falls into the river. You don't disappear. You change form. He leans closer to the fire. Flames of fire illuminate his face. When a person knows that his time is limited, he looks at the world differently. He no longer wastes days on quarrels, on grievances, on chasing what's unimportant. He shares the thanks. He loves while he can. And when his hour comes, he leaves peacefully, but not because he achieved everything or was perfect, but because he loved, which means he lived life, not in vain. And that's already enough. I sit and am silent. Akiru's words settle deep, like stones on the bottom of a river. I think about how we in cities hide death, hospitals, cemeteries outside the city. We say, passed away, departed, left us, but we don't say it directly. We pretend it doesn't exist, that it's somewhere far away, that it won't happen to us, and therefore, we're more afraid. But here, death is as if part of life, visible, close. Names on the Ceiba bark, ancestors' bones in the earth, stories by the fire. Maybe that's why people here are calmer, because death is not an enemy lying in wait for you in ambush, but simply part of the journey. And meeting it, you say, I'm ready. I lived well. Akiru again takes the pipe with tobacco, takes a drag. Smoke envelops his face. He closes his eyes. Tonight, he says through Naru, you will see a dream. Don't try to understand it. Just remember it. I nod, not knowing whether to believe this, but something inside me already believes. The ritual ends. People disperse, and no one talks, as if they don't want to disturb the natural course of things with speech. Naru escorts me to the guest hut, small, with a hammock instead of a bed. I walk as if swaying, although my consciousness is clear and pure. Sleep well, he says, and friendly pats me on the shoulder. I lie down in the hammock. It rocks gently, soothingly, like a cradle. Outside are the sounds of night, the rustling of foliage, the distant cry of a night bird. The body relaxes, thoughts slow down. I feel how breathing evens out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Eyes close by themselves. A warm, dense, and cozy darkness envelops me. Somewhere far away, the beat of a drum is heard. Or is it my heart? I fall into infinity. Chapter 5. Invitation. Morning comes even before the appearance of light with new sounds. The night polyphony of cicadas and frogs gives way to rare, pure voices of birds. The air is still cool, with notes of cooled fires and the smell of damp foliage. In the dream I saw, I stood at a crossroads. Before me were two paths. Both went into darkness. Along one were heard familiar voices, along the other, silence. I stood all night and couldn't choose the path. I find Akiru at the edge of the village. He sits on a fallen trunk with his back to the huts, facing the forest. He doesn't look at the trees, he's just near them. I approach and sit down not far away without saying a word. We sit silently for a long time. In the silence between us, every rustle of a leaf and every distant cry of a monkey is heard. In it is felt Akiru's even breathing, my own heartbeat. I feel that this is a continuation of yesterday's ritual, a real conversation. I came here with a voice recorder, a notebook with 100 questions in my head. I wanted to get knowledge, pack it into words, take it away with me. Akiru slowly turns his head and looks at me. His eyes are calm, like river water in a quiet pool. One man, he begins just as quietly, as if continuing our silent dialogue. Really wanted to hear what the forest says. He came to the oldest tree and asked, "Tree, what is your wisdom?" The tree was silent. The man asked louder, "I came from far away. Reveal your secret to me." The tree was silent. Then the man shouted, "I won't leave until you answer." He sat under the tree for a day, and another one. He kept waiting for an answer, repeating his question, but he waited so loudly, listened so intently, that he didn't notice how the birds sang, how an ant crawled on the bark, how the wind swayed the branches. He heard nothing but his own question. Akiru falls silent, and at this moment I understand everything. I came here to learn, to record, to explain, to classify. I looked at the Amazon through the eyes of a scientist, an ethnographer, a tourist. I tried to understand it with my mind, but I just needed to stop asking and start listening. The tale of the Amazon is not a sound that can be recorded on a voice recorder. It's what comes when everything inside you stops screaming. I nod gratefully to Akiru. He nods back. We understood everything. No more words are needed. Time to say goodbye. The whole village comes out to the shore. No one makes grand speeches. Women smile. Children wave their hands. That same boy runs up and places another pebble in my palm. Warm, smooth. I squeeze it in my pocket along with the first. Akiru simply places his dry, warm hand on my shoulder. This gesture weighs more than any words. I get into the boat. Naru pushes off from the shore. "You now know the way," he says, looking not at me, but at the water ahead. "What way?" I ask. He smiles with the corner of his mouth. back to yourself. The boat glides on the water. The village slowly melts in the green haze. I look at my reflection in the dark water. The face is the same, but something has changed. The hunger inside has subsided. The race has stopped. We in cities look for answers in books and lectures and technology. We build spaceships to fly to other worlds and the hope of finding meaning there. And we've forgotten how to see that the main, most mysterious, living and wisest world is right here. It breathes with us, under our feet, around, and everything we encounter. But we don't hear it because we speak too loudly. Naru rows evenly, without effort. The boat floats with the current. We're surrounded by the same forest, the same river, but I look at them differently. In the dream all night, I stood at a crossroads. I'm standing now too. One path leads to where my knowledge is. Knowledge about how everything works, about what the world should be like, what I should be like. There, everything is familiar, predictable. This knowledge helped me more than once. It's not the enemy, it did its job. The other path leads to where the world exists, as it is, spontaneous, alive, without a script, without control. All my life I walked only along the first path, because I didn't see the second. Now I see both, and every day gives me a choice of which path to take a step along. The end. Or not.